We are a people robbed and spoiled. They've taken everything from us. They took everything. And when the Bible says we're robbed and spoiled, the Lord means that. We were rich and wealthy. They took everything from us. This is why the white man says, no, we cannot give them reparations. Why? Because one of them might wake up and go, wait. What you did to us goes beyond what America did. It goes back before that. There might be a smart Negro among them that's going to figure things out. Them group of Israelites out there. White man said, no, don't give them nothing. Because once you open them floodgates, it's over.
West Memphis, located just minutes from Memphis, Tennessee, on the opposite bank of the Mississippi River in eastern Arkansas, originated as a logging camp near the historic site of Fort Esperanza in 1910. Tragedy struck in June 2007 when 12-year-old Deontay T. Farrow was fatally shot by West Memphis, Arkansas police officer Eric Sammis, igniting local protests and prefiguring the Black Lives Matter movement. Sammis, previously dismissed from the Little Rock police force for excessive force, claimed Farrow had a toy gun, a narrative disputed by locals who assert Farrow carried only snacks and a Walkman CD player. Despite its proximity to Memphis, West Memphis contends with a high crime rate of 66 incidents per 1,000 residents, distinguishing it with one of the nation's highest rates, while over 98% of other communities maintain lower rates, underscoring the city's intricate social landscape.
All people doers in the word in this community? No, we ain't doers of the word. We rob, we steal, we kill, we sell dope to one another, we commit fornication, we commit adultery, we eat unclean food, defile our temples. That's why we still in the conditions we in. That's why things get worse and worse and worse for us. You would think without all the education we got after all these years, why come out people still in the conditions we in?
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High Christ, bless Captain Gedaliah, IUIC Jackson, Mississippi, man. We done teamed up with IUIC Memphis, IUIC Arkansas, IUIC Nashville, Tupelo, everybody. We getting it in, man. We at the Delta Takeover. Basically what we're going to be doing, we're going to be hitting all the cities in the Mississippi and Arkansas Delta. Right now, we in West Memphis, Arkansas in a project called the Courtyard. And as you can see, it's dilapidated, it's downtrodden. Our people going through oppression. Our people going through baby mama, baby daddy drama, drugs being pushed in the community, death and murder. But guess what? We the light. We out here in the purple and gold deep to bring the truth to our people.
Who's the king? Christ! Who's the king? Christ! Who's the king? Christ! What time is it? War time! What time is it? War time!
Hey, Shalom, Most High in Christ, bless y'all. We in West Memphis, Arkansas, man. This is a terrible community, man, where our people needs to wake up. The men in this community, we are calling for y'all to wake up and take the community back, man. Put the drugs down. Take care of your kids. Take care of your wives, man. Stop hoeing out our sisters, man. So we calling all men in West Memphis, Arkansas to wake the hell up.
Now I want y'all to see, come a little closer. I want you to see the diagram. Now these are actual images, y'all. So you had at the stuff you had the wine, the oil, all that at the bottom, and then right there in the middle, they were shackled up. Look at it, look how close you were. Now imagine being there a whole year.
Bring it up.
A whole year. Now what if you got to use the bathroom? Now every 7 days, or every 23 or so days, a woman had what's called a menstrual cycle.
Bring it up.
And you have certain things that you need to take care of your body during that time. Those 7 days, right? Now imagine the smell. Imagine the sanitation at the bottom of a ship for a year and a half. It takes a year and a half to get from the west coast of Africa on ship to the Americas. People in there taking a dump, women in there pregnant having kids, you got your menstrual cycle. Imagine that. There's a place in Ghana called Elmina Casa. They said that the feces, the height of the doo-doo and the boo-boo built up to being taller than a man like me. Imagine a stack of boo-boo that tall. Because we was down on the bottom of the ship. Oh, and they didn't feed you. They didn't sit you down at a table and put a napkin in your shirt. No. You was butt naked on the bottom of that ship with chains that was cutting into your wrist, and they threw the food down in a slop bucket. You understand? This is what the Bible talking about, y'all.
It's time for us to get our minds right. Listen, what they say? Who will rise up for me? God got a question for you, bro. He said, who gonna rise up? Come on. Against the evildoers. Who's gonna rise up against these evildoers? Who gonna rise up against these men out here with these guns, these young boys running around with these Dracos, shooting at one another? Y'all ain't shooting at the white man. Y'all ain't shooting at the Chinese or the Arab man who own the stores. Y'all shooting and killing up one another. Right. Who gonna rise up and say, that's it, this is enough? We don't want this in our community no more. It's gonna take all of y'all to do it, but it's gonna start one at a time. I know y'all look at them niggas crazy. They talking about getting gangs out of here. They talking about them niggas crazy. They want us to stop shooting up one another. Them niggas crazy. They want us to stop selling drugs to one another. That's how y'all looking at me right now, like I'm the crazy one. No, we not crazy. We want y'all to change.
Rouville, Mississippi, a small and historic town, is renowned for its rich agricultural legacy and its significant role in the civil rights movement. The railroad's establishment in 1895 was marked by the construction of its depot in 1897, later rebuilt after a tornado's destruction. Originally named the Yazoo Delta Railroad, it was constructed by the labor of black individuals connecting Inverness, Rouville, and Morehead, Mississippi. Throughout the construction process, substantial evidence attests to the extensive labor of a large number of black men enduring adverse weather conditions. The labor-intensive efforts of black workers also bore a notable musical legacy. W.C. Handy, known as the father of blues, composed the iconic Yellow Dog Blues, closely tied to the railroad, referred to colloquially as the Yellow Dog. He depicted black laborers toiling relentlessly in grueling heat. The sound of hammer strikes, accompanied by sporadic singing. All white overseers monitored progress from a locomotive marked with YD. The question arises, who was behind the financing and supervision of the railroad construction that subjected black men to the grueling conditions? In 2004, Dorothy Kahn, an active member of the Jewish community, conducted an interview with Marvin Bonowitz. In this interview, she shared her upbringing in Rouville, where she was surrounded by fellow Jewish families living directly across from a railroad that happened to be owned by Jewish individuals, while the manual labor was carried out by Negro laborers. She noted that Rouville had around 1,181 Jewish residents, and interestingly, all 1,181 stores in town were owned by members of the Jewish community. The interview provided valuable insight into the dynamics of the time, highlighting both strong Jewish presence in Rouville and the complex relationships within the community.
Moses, way down in Egypt land. Let my people go.
Shalom, Most High Christ, Bless Officer DeWater, IUIC Mobile. Hey, all praise to the Most High, man. The prophets are in the Mississippi Delta, right? I'm from the Delta. You got a few officers. I'll spend the night from the Delta. Dane McAbee from the Delta. And Helena. List goes on. But the thing is, we're coming back to enlighten our brothers and sisters that we're the kings of the earth. We God's chosen people.
The name
Christ is black. God is black, the angels is black.
It means
King David,
from
King Solomon,
man. The
all
word
those men in the Bible
W-O-1,
are our forefathers, they are
it means
ancestors.
from. The word
So it's
man
always a
means
beautiful
the
thing
man.
to be
You
able,
come
like I said,
from
I grew up
the
in
man.
Rouville,
So how
but
a
also I
woman
got
gonna
people
say,
over
I
here
don't
in
need a
Cleveland
man
as
when you
well.
was made for me.
But to be able to be alive to come back here
she was made for
and
you.
to let them know that look, we the greatest people on the face of the earth
Now we neglect
is an
our women.
honor in
Quit feeding
itself.
them.
So
Come on, man.
that's what we're
It's time
doing
to
here. We
be
got
men,
prophets
brothers.
from Memphis, we got prophets
It's time
from
to be a man,
Arkansas,
brother.
we got prophets
It's
from
time to be
Jackson,
a man. It's time to
Mississippi.
submit to what God
All
wants
come
say
here
and be
to
a man.
help
Go ahead.
enlighten our brothers and sisters that
And
we the
the
greatest
real
people to ever walk the face of the earth. So, like I said, man, it's just an honor itself to be here in my hometown, man, in the Mississippi Delta. So, shalom, most high, Christ bless.
Brought her to the man. Go ahead.
What's the knowledge of God? What's the knowledge of God? His laws. Ain't no laws in the land. Don't nobody keep God's law. They don't even know who his people is. Ain't no knowledge of God in the land. He got a problem with that. Read. By swearing. By swearing, read. And lying. You know, you're going into some of the laws we break. Don't these folk lie here in Rouville?
You can't just stay for to stay up in your own house. You know, people breaking in your house, killing. You know, we have shooting every day in this little community.
How the church is?
Oh, the church? I don't go to church.
Yeah, why not?
Because there's too much going on in the church. We got gay people in the church, pastor not talking on it. You know, like pants, we wear pants, church, anything you want to wear. You know, you can wear many if you want to. Sleeveless. You know, back then we were covering ourselves.
Right, right. So, based on what you heard today from us, you feel like what we teach is more so what the community needs rather than the same old hooping and hollering in the church?
Yes.
Cleveland, Mississippi of Bolivar County was originally known as Fontaine and Coleman Station, which was formed in 1836. Fontaine would experience multiple name changes over the years, but was finally recognized as Cleveland on March 25, 1886. When Cleveland was founded, the land was originally Choctaw land, which is still to date notably some of the most valued land in the state of Mississippi. In 1840, there was an enslaved population of 60%. Of that 60%, there was only one free African American. In 1860, that enslaved population reached a pinnacle of 87%. Cleveland was known for its agricultural economy, which rapidly gained the black population due to the pressure African Americans faced to move to the Delta. The Universal Negro Improvement Association, founded by Marcus Garvey in 1914, was one of the most pivotal civil rights organizations in Bolivar County at the time. Cleveland continues to exist as a heavily black populated area today. The state of Mississippi holds the title as being the most segregated state in America. Nearly 200 years after the state's founding date, Mississippi's Segregation Abolishment Act had not fully been fulfilled. In addition to the failed educational system, Cleveland has one of the highest crime rates in America compared to other communities its size. Statistics show that the chances of you becoming a victim of either violent or property crime is 1 in 18. The living conditions in Cleveland are unspeakably inhumane. Residents in the community live in unimaginable circumstances. Due to high poverty rates, residents are often tenants in low-income housing units. Cleveland's historically segregated history and mistreatment of African Americans appears to be rooted deeply in its so-called modernized society today.
Man, you ain't read no paper. You ain't read no paper, man. You ain't read no paper. Goddamn nephew. I'm all right, man.
Christ bless. I'm spending 9. We're out here in Cleveland, Mississippi. We just left Rouville, Mississippi on a quest to wake up the 12 tribes of Israel. Down here in the Mississippi Delta, you got a lot of our people. A lot of our people got off the slave ships, came up to Mississippi, and that's where we continue to be at to this day, because we came here as slaves. And that happened because we broke our laws. We the Israelites, and we must repent and come back to the laws of God.
I would think that I could go to the Bible, I could go to God and figure out where I come from.
That's right.
Figure out why I went through slavery. You gotta imagine your forefathers getting whipped. Don't you think they was like, God, why? When they was getting whooped, when they was getting yokes of iron put on them.
Bring it up.
Guess what? The answer is in the Bible.
When he created man, this is what he wanted men to do. Come on. Genesis 1:28. You got it? Come on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply.
What God said he want man to do? He's supposed to have a wife and then do what? And have children. If every man on the earth said, I'm going to put on pink fingernails and I'm going to become a homosexual, there will be no more life.
We're that whole family, right? This is the family reunion right here. The blacks and Hispanics coming back to their true nationality. I ain't talking about the brown family reunion when we meet up at the park on the Sabbath and barbecue brisket. What? This is the family reunion, the great awakening of the sons and daughters of God.
Hey, I appreciate the brothers for doing what they doing, inspiring the community.
You ever seen anything like this?
No, I'm not down here in Cleveland.
It means
not
not
in
showing
Cleveland.
any
Think Cleveland needs to see more of this?
any sexual attention.
We do need to be more aware about a lot of things.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? About how we approach spirituality, religion, and cohesiveness as many peoples as one.
Founded in 1833, Helena, Arkansas, Phillips County has a long and intensive history of violence and racism. The first lynching took place in Helena December 23, 1920. Not only was this a case of lynching, but also a case of police brutality. J.W. Gibson, a black teacher and farm owner that resided in Cotton Plant, Arkansas. There is no evidence that Gibson was hung. However, the case is still considered a lynching because of the circumstances. It is not known how Gibson officially died because there is no evidence that a proper investigation was ever done, even though an inquest was court-ordered. However, Gibson's death certificate says he died as a result of a shotgun wound. November 18, 1921, The first documented lynching took place in Helena as 19-year-old William Turner was murdered for allegedly attacking a white girl. Turner was arrested after being accused of the attack. With fear that the town would try an attack before a trial could be held, the police attempted to transfer Turner to another jail to await trial. Unfortunately, the car was stopped by a mob of approximately 30 people who demanded Turner be turned over. The officers were allegedly in fear due to being outnumbered and turned Turner over to the mob, who shot and killed him on the side of the road. As if that was not brutal enough, the mob then tied Turner's body to the back of a car by rope and drug him through the streets of the town as others continued to shoot at the body. Turner's body was then drenched in gasoline and set on fire. Afterwards, Turner's father was forced to claim his son's remains. The once thriving town of Helena has now become a poverty-stricken town of less than 10,000 people. Families who faced oppression for generations are now turning on each other. The dark past of Helena still affects the inhabitants of the city to this day.
Hey, Shalom. This week we in the Arkansas Delta for the Delta Takeover. We in Helena, West Helena, all right? This little town right here got one of the worst crime rates in the United States of America, all right? 1 out of 14 people at some point in their life here, living here, gonna be a victim of a violent or a property crime, all right? It's bad out here. They need the word of God. That's what we out here to do, all right? So stay tuned. Shalom.
The war is against the man.
Yes.
It's against the man. That's the reason why Pharaoh said, kill the men off. Kill the men off.
Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 12. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
This is, black men are trying to have hope. We're made to rule. We're made to envision. We're made to direct. We're made to control. We are builders. So whenever we have hope to do these things, it is met with a complete resistance. And because we cannot live that hope out, it drives us to insanity. Because you need to release that. You want to be a man. It's like putting a lion in a cage. He got all of that power, and the only thing he can do is go backwards and forwards.
Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
Maketh the mind sick, because if we don't get to express who we are as men, if we don't get to envision and build and construct and set up our own world, then what is the purpose of your manhood?
But when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life.
But when you can actually realize your hope, it is like a tree of life. This is what Christ is coming to give us back. He's going to give us the ability for us to increase, to be rulers. That's the therapy that we need.
Mount Bayou, located in northwest Mississippi's Yazoo Delta, emerged as an all-black town in 1887, established by 12 pioneers from Davis Bend, a prior black settlement, in search of refuge from challenges posed by declining agricultural prices, natural calamities, and racial tensions. With a population of 2,847 and lacking public transportation, it ranks as Mississippi's 98th largest community, contending with significant low income and poverty rates, notably 41.46% below the federal poverty line. Predominantly identifying as Black or African American, the town's per capita income falls below 95.2% of U.S. neighborhoods, and an alarming 70.3% of its children experience poverty. Historically, Mount Bayou flourished with key establishments including a U.S. post office, churches, banks, and schools. Its economic foundation revolved around cotton, timber, and corn, with active engagement in the L, N, O, and T Railroad. Mayor Isaiah Montgomery and Charles Banks played pivotal roles in propelling growth, collaborating with Booker T. Washington, and championing education through outlets like the Demonstrator newspaper. Despite a decline in population, Mount Bayou remains resilient as a predominantly black town, boasting a total black population of 98.6%.
Now I'm in the pen, well, now I'm in the pen, and I can't get out, and I can't get out. It's long gone, it's long gone, what you want?
Shalom family, I'm Officer Yahukanan, and right now we're in the historic city of Mount Bayou, Mississippi. Mount
Mount Bayou, Mississippi was the first freed black town in the United States that's established a few years after slavery in the year 1887. This town here is known as the Jewel of the Delta due to the economic prominence and poise that it proposed for black people right after slavery, during the Jim Crow segregation era, during the time of black codes. During the Civil Rights Movement, this place here was a safe haven for all the civil rights leaders, such as Fannie Lou Hamer, Medgar Evers, MLK, and other prominent black history figures came here to this area as a safe haven. All right, so where we at right now, we're in front of the bank of Mount Bayou, Mississippi. This was one of the first black banks ever established in the free town. This bank here was founded in 1904 by a freed slave from Clarksdale, Mississippi, named Charles Banks. Charles Banks came to prominence by becoming a successful businessman in Chicago and also having other successful business ventures in Clarksdale, Mississippi. He came down to Mount Bayou, Mississippi and teamed up with the town founder to establish this bank for the black citizens of Mount Bayou, Mississippi. So he came here with an initial investment of $3.1 million and helped establish this bank and made it prominent to our people in this area. So this bank here, this is the actual structure of the bank when it was created. It's part of the United States National Registry for a National Historic Landmark that's protected by the United States government. But this is the actual bank where a lot of our people came down here to do business, where other white banks wouldn't do business with our people.
Officer DeWatt, IUIC Mobile. I'm from the Mississippi Delta, he's from the Mississippi Delta, he's from the Mississippi Delta. But going to school, we never learned these things. You know, they never taught us these things. You have, remember Emmett Till case, right? Emmett Till mother also came here for protection because it was a all black town, you know what I'm saying? Full of everything, you know? So she was protected during that trial, which was a long trial. You know, she had death threats, you know, all these type of things that were gonna be done to her family. But she was over here with T.B. Howard. Dr. Howard, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Howard was looking out for her and her family. So it's a lot of historic points here in Mount Bayou, Mississippi.
Behind us is the house of the town's founder, Isaiah T. Montgomery. Isaiah T. Montgomery was the founder of Mount Bayou, Mississippi. He served on the Mississippi State Congress right after slavery. How this town was founded, he bought this land. This land here was a wooded area, and what he did, he created an opportunity for newly freed slaves to come here to clear out the land so they can have their own developed plots, so they can build their own homes. And over time, Mount Bayou came to prominence as a town, as a beacon for free blacks.
Also been in our Tupelo, Mississippi camp. As you can see, the house is practically falling down, you know. But what I want to say about Esau, the so-called white man, they spent a whole lot of money on stuff that matter to them. But with our people, they don't spend money on, and it's falling down. I go through the state of Mississippi, you got all these crucifixes, these big crosses with great landscaping, but we come out here and it's falling down. Also, you know, I grew up 30 minutes from here. They didn't teach us anything about Isaiah Montgomery. They didn't teach us anything about this town being a safe haven in school or anything like that. If any of y'all seen the movie Till, they mention Montgomery throughout the movie. And it's just sad that they don't teach our people our history here. They keep us in the dark.
The structure behind us is the historic Taborian Hospital. It was founded in 1942 by the International Organization of 12 Knights and Sisters of Tabor. You know, it was a free black society that helped fund the building of this hospital to help support the people of Mount Bayou, Mississippi. Because during the time of segregation, Jim Crow, they wasn't letting our people go to the white hospitals. So this hospital here was prominent and historic for our people because it's one of the places where our people got urgent care that they need. One prominent figure that's of note that was at this hospital was a Theodore Howard. You know, he was one of the figures that helped out Emmett Till during her trial to get justice for Emmett Till. He was the head chief surgeon of this facility and helped made this hospital the prominence. This hospital here been in service for years, and then it went out of prominence in 1977. In 1977, the world famous civil rights leader, Fannie Lou Hamer, she died here in this very hospital right here. You know, she took her last breath in this hospital under this care from the Taborian Hospital. She's buried in Rouville, Mississippi, but this hospital is important because it helped provide services from our people during this area.
This hospital also was a refuge for not only Mount Bayou, but the whole Delta. You had like Cleveland, Clarksdale, Rouville, Drew, Mount Shelby, so on and so forth, that there was a pillar for the whole community in the Mississippi Delta. We have to come out here and make sure our people understand these facts, historical facts, that who we are. Like Deuteronomy 76 said, we're above all people. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So guess what? Not only is that physical, but intellect, all those type of things. With the lack of resources we had, we end up coming up with this.
Gonna kill every weed, that's in this land, I'm a long gone, I'm a long gone, what you gone, John? Well, the John said, in the chapter 14, left a man die.
Though the town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi has a rich history involving the origin of modern-day blues and the invention of the teddy bear, Rolling Fork was founded in 1828 by Thomas Y. Cheney. The creek that flows through the settlement, known today as Deer Creek, gave Cheney the idea to name the place Rolling Fork because of the swiftness of the water at a fork in the creek. The town is also known for being the hometown of Muddy Waters, a prominent figure in the post-war blues scene. Often referred to as the father of modern Chicago blues, Waters was born in 1913 as McKinley Morganfield. His grandmother, Della Grant, raised him after his mother died shortly after his birth. She gave him the nickname Muddy after his love for playing in the muddy water near Deer Creek. Although it is a town full of historical landmarks and history, Rolling Fork and the surrounding towns of Sharkey County are in one of the country's poorest regions. Sharkey's poverty rate is around 35%, which nearly doubles Mississippi's rate of 19% and triples the nation's rate of 12%. In addition to the poverty rates, the town experienced a recent tornado in March 2023. The twister killed 13 of Rolling Fork's roughly 1,700 residents and destroyed about 300 homes and businesses, some pulled up from their foundation. President Joe Biden, who toured the devastation, approved a disaster declaration for the state. This declaration extended federal funds to assist in temporary housing, home repairs, and loans to cover property losses.
You know, I used to tell people all the time that tornadoes are deadly. They give you warnings, and you need to take heed to those warnings.
Be so glad when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. I'll be so glad when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. I ain't all that sleepy, but I wanna lie down. But I wanna lie down. I ain't all that sleepy, but I wanna.
Look, hey, we finna go out here, we finna teach repentance, y'all. Hey, tornado hit this place, man. A lot of our folks, hey, they've been devastated from it. So, we brought the arm of God out here, you know, to build them back up, showing why these things, you know, happening, what's going on the earth, showing biblical prophecy.
We never came to this side of the earth for us to be living gratefully and things like that. The Lord brought us on this side of the earth to be afflicted for breaking His commandments when we was in Jerusalem. When you read the Bible, the Bible is about us as a people. That's why when you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, 15 through 68, you read about slavery men in the Bible, man.
How does God communicate with us, especially in these last days? How does God get us to see what it is He wants us to see about ourselves? Watch this.
The book of Hosea, chapter 5, verse 15. I will go and return to my place. Do they acknowledge no things?
What's God trying to get us to do?
Do they acknowledge no
not knowing who they are, that they ain't God's chosen people. Read.
There we are.
Is that it? Go down to verse 48. We're gonna show you. Y'all listen up. Don't go nowhere. This is news that you gotta hear. You gotta hear the gospel. The gospel must be preached.
God was displeased. Like, yeah, God love, but it's also the destruction of God. He gonna get his point across, God. And when it ain't right, sometimes the good gotta go with the bad. Yeah, it's a tragedy, but it showed me a lot. You gotta have some insurance. You gotta put back. You gotta have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? What you living for. But right here, like this happened, it's obvious that you gotta come together. If he displeased and he showed you, he just put a little finger through there. What if he was mad? He put that hand down. He had nothing to be here.
A lot of these groups, you know, they come out here to these places and they really don't really care about the people. We got organizations like FEMA, the Red Cross, where they outsource to these groups. They get them chicks to come out here and feed the people. Christ said, man should live by bread alone. A lot of times y'all see us come out and because we don't got the food with us, or we don't got the clothes with us or the water with us, they don't mean we don't got nothing that's gonna stick with you. The word of God gonna stick with you. We showing our people, look, the reason why these things happening because the Lord trying to get your attention. You know what I'm saying? Before the real destruction comes. This right here, this stuff can be built back up. A lot of people didn't lose their lives. But when Christ cracked that sky, a lot of y'all gonna die. And this place ain't gonna be rebuilt back up. Remember, the spiritual meat is the most important thing of all.
Never seen nothing like it. On the recovery and the story. Man, it's heartbreaking. It really is.
The sun go down.
When the sun go down.
I don't let's leave it, but I